Welcome to Generational Podcast, where we talk about everything from
lifestyle, music, fashion, and mental health. I'm Sheldon Brothers,
I'm Carter Smith, and today we will be talking about
growing up black without my father.
All right, so fellas, first question is, do you guys feel that you missed out on anything by not having your father around?
yeah.
Okay. Like what? Like I want you to give your honest opinion and share your truth.
Um, I don't know. I just feel like I missed out on a lot. Like I would see kids with their father, like boys with their father, and I was like, damn, I don't know what that's like.
Or I will low key envy kids that do have their fathers in their life.
I
Okay.
used to feel like that too. It's one way or another at a point.
Um, do you feel it's more helpful to have your father around for like moments of like questions or concerns or just thoughts that you have that you want to like run by, and do you think it would have been easier to kind of have your father around to ask that question to?
Most definitely.
You don't think so? Why is that? Is it because you think teenagers nowadays usually don't talk, so you think you still would have kind of kept it in?
Just how I am.
And how was that?
I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay. Okay. But do you also think the reason why you're like the way you are now is because your father wasn't around? Because you didn't have somebody to be there to be able to figure it out for you and support you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Second question is, um, who were your father figures growing up? Like who were the people that supported you? Who were the people that you look up to, even to this day, like continuing life throughout? Um, and just a few. It doesn't have to be everyone, but who are some people that you look up to?
Mostly my uncles and my grandfather, honestly. Well, those are the only few men that I really look up to. My uncles and my grandfather.
Okay.
For me, it's a little hard because when I was younger, it was like mainly me, my mom, my like, two aunts, my grandmother, and my uncle. But my uncle, I didn't see him a lot because he was either at school working or he was just in his room enjoying his free time. So um, only man I really saw in my life at that moment were the guys who would be outside, you know, take care of me if they could. You know, they'll look out for me.
Okay. All right. Um, do you think that the people that you had in your life that you look up to were helpful?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you feel that you could trust them?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can say they're helpful, kind of, and yeah, I could trust them.
Okay. All right. So just what are some things that you went through that you might not have ever said about just growing up as a young black male without a father? Um, like has there been any like name calling or like feeling a certain type of way about like dads not showing up to school or to sporting events or anything that you guys were like involved in?
I wasn't in sports like that because I didn't have like nobody to like sit down and watch sports with this and that until like I was a little older, where I was already like in the mindset of like I don't like sport.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older and I hung around people who were like me, who didn't have a father figure in their life at certain moments of their life, we just we learned from each other. They got me into sports. I was pretty good for somebody who didn't care for it.
That's true. So you had a group of other young men that also didn't have their fathers in their life as well?
Nah, I'm not even gonna say a group. It was a group of us. But it was like the one I was closest to. He ain't had his father in his life.
Oh, okay. So you felt like that was somebody that you kind of could like relate to and you guys could kind of support each other.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. I think that's really cool. Not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people are even able to even talk to other people about that. So to even have that person around and to be able to express those things is actually really good, because one thing that us Black men don't do is talk enough. And I'll say more like express ourselves enough. What do you guys feel about this moment, having to have this real hard conversation and like be honest and be honest, be honest, be honest? What was your initial thoughts? Let's go there.
I don't want to do it at all.
And why is that?
Why? I just didn't feel like doing it.
But why? Like, there's a reason. Like,
I don't like getting personal most of the time.
Okay.
I just didn't want to do it. Like, it's just, keep it personal.
Okay. Do you think sometimes like being like open or being honest or personal in a sense, you feel like people are gonna look at you weak, or you don't like to just share your emotions, or you like to just bottle it up, or it's just a feeling you don't necessarily like?
I just like to keep to myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Keeping it to yourself. I feel both of you guys kind of said that. Has it been healthy for you? Like, when you really think about it, like, has it really been healthy for the way you react to things, or the way you approach situations or people or environments? Like, do you feel that you holding and bottling up so many emotions and things that you're going through, do you think it was helpful or supportive for you?
Most likely not, but still do it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's healthy for anybody.
So why do you do it though? If you know that it's not healthy, why do you do it? I'm just asking.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm built different.
Exactly.
So you said you're built different. I get it.
Yeah.
I feel that is amazing. I appreciate you guys. Do you feel like being a young Black man in society today, especially when not having your father around, do you feel like you kind of had to create that tough exterior where you don't show emotions because you don't feel like other people will understand you or get you?
Not really,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess kind of at the same time, because I personally don't care that much anymore, at least, what people say about me. But at the same time, it's still gonna kind of get to me most likely as well, because that's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially if you trying to look at me like I'm soft.
I'm glad you opened that door. I'm glad you opened the door. So, what is looking at you like you're soft?
Like, well, just like, it's just self-explanatory.
I'm not understanding. Is it because like you're showing your emotions? So it's like because you're crying or you're like upset?
Yeah.
So you feel like if you're crying or upset, that makes you soft?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's because that's what society has kind of put in our head, or is it like a toxic masculinity trait, or is it like, what do you feel?
I guess it's kind of, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And it also like just kind of stems from like just the environment altogether.
Okay.
My environment, at least.
Okay, I get that. And you were taught to kind of like, what, keep your emotions bottled up and not show weakness, or it's a sign of weakness?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
For me, I don't really care. It really, like, for me, I'll be mad and I'll cry.
That's usually a reaction to most people's emotion.
I don't cry when I'm sad.
Okay. So did you know that the crying aspect will be more of like a secondary emotion? Because your first emotion is like anger. Your secondary emotion is the cry aspect. But not everybody, some people grieve differently, so not everybody cry when they're sad, so that's definitely understandable. Some people can just feel bad or like feel down. I think I'm like that in a sense when it comes down to like mourning or grief and things like that. I don't necessarily cry, but I definitely feel bad and down and kind of lost in the moment. Um, so what do you think brought upon the I don't care attitude? Because you guys say it a lot. Like it's like embedded in you. Like, what do you feel like? Because I think that I know. Well, we'll talk about that after. Because where do you think the I don't care attitude came from? Like, where do you feel like it was created, stemmed from, or how did it develop for you?
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie. I really don't. As I got older, I just started just not caring, honestly, about almost anything.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Is when I started getting older and I started to like do more for myself and like interacting with like different types of people. I started to not care like, as I got older, and now it's just like it is what it is.
Okay. So there's this other thing too. We're gonna get back to that too. But with the I don't care, it's also this I'm I. Like why do y'all always do the I'm I aspect when you're mad, happy, sad, upset, all of that good stuff? Like why is the I'm I the only thing that you guys
I
say?
don't want to be bothered when I'm upset or anything.
Okay.
Just leave me alone.
Okay.
Because I get over it.
Okay. Do you feel that most of the time when you say I, that's really meaning like there's something more you just don't want to talk about it, or is it just like am I?
It really depends on what it is that's bothering me. Like, you're gonna ask for a reason, right?
Mhm.
So, like, maybe I'm acting different, or maybe I said this or did this. It really just depends on what happened. Everything depends.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I think that's something that is understandable. I think me kind of getting to know you guys a little better has gifted me the opportunity to kind of know when you guys are really not all right. Like, I mean, y'all wear your heart on y'all sleeve. Y'all really show your emotions. So how y'all feel is really how y'all look and act. Even though you might be saying one thing, your actions and reactions show everything else. Like when Sheldon be trying to act like quarter two, and y'all be trying to act like y'all not happy, but y'all be like grinning from ear to ear, but still trying not to like act like y'all not. Like it's really good to see y'all like in a really good space where you guys are like happy and jolly and being young kids. I think that's one of the things that I'm really trying to push for you guys, especially when you're around me, is to, just be a kid. That's it. A young adult. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want you to grow up and feel that you had to grow up too fast, even though granted you might have that in moments where in life you have to, but at least within this space where I'm at, I want you to feel that you're supported. So a lot of times that is my biggest thing of like, pushing you to just have fun, create, do good things, and support, because I want you guys to be better than me. I think that should be every parent's goal, is to have their children be even better than them, because you want to keep the legacy going from years on. So I appreciate that. If there was one thing, and I want you guys to really think about this for a second. If there was one thing you could tell your younger self about where you are now, about not having your father in your life, what would you tell yourself to support you to not really kind of go through those feelings or emotions or moments that you kind of went through back then?
Well, honestly, I didn't really touch the topic of my father like that with any family members. So I don't think there would be anything I would tell my younger self. Because I didn't really think about it, because it's not like honestly, no one in my family would even talk about my father at all. So
Okay. So what about actually just kind of bringing that up? having that conversation to get a little clarity about just things that you're kind of going through. Because I think sometimes people miss out on the child's emotion in that moment. A lot of times it's just adults thinking about them, but not realizing once a child is brought in, nobody else, emotion should matter the most but the child's. And I think that's one of the big things that people do forget about. But I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of things that we don't talk about as, a Black community. I think there are things that we just sweep aside and just kind of like, if I don't tell you, you won't ask about it, you won't think about it. But that's a lot of times with the most thing, that's what you think about the most. What about you?
I wouldn't tell myself that.
Nothing at all? Why is that? You would want your younger self to go through all the things that you went through, anger issues, all of that. Okay. Okay. You really believe that. Why is that?
I don't know. I wouldn't change anything about myself.
But why would you want your younger self to go through that? If you can give yourself the knowledge and understanding to get where you are now without having gone through the pain, you wouldn't give that to yourself?
No.
And why is that?
I don't see anything wrong with myself. I feel like I'm fine how I am.
Okay. Do you think sometimes you mask emotions about things that's really going on? About how you feel inside? Like, do you feel that sometimes you don't really express yourself to the fullest about things that you're really feeling inside?
Sure.
Okay. Do you think that's happening in this moment?
No.
Why are you responding so quickly? Like, that was like, I didn't even finish and you like jumped on it. I think you're like, all right, can we move on? You know what? I'm gonna grant your wish right now because I'm gonna grant your wish. We all understand. No, I appreciate you guys. I honestly do. This is a new podcast for you guys and this generational podcast. I hope it brings a lot of clarity, light, love, and education around everything. I think it's a big area that we haven't touched on yet, and to have you young people actually being the ones that's speaking and talking, enjoying and laughing. Like, it's so good to kind of see you, being honest, being serious, laughing and joking, but also being true to yourselves actually has been really amazing. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Happy to be in your presence, and I'm excited for the next episode. So we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do it. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for listening to the Generational Podcast. Again, we have
Sheldon Brothers
and we appreciate you guys.